Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to the Joys of Loss podcast, where we acknowledge, accept, and address our major life transitions so that we can love better, learn better, and live better. Since we won't make it out alive, let's have a divine time and remember to always stay wild. I am your host, Zan Washington, and this is episode 7. Episode 7. Yay. Oh man. It's almost like, am I running out of fingers? Right? Like, now I'm on the other hand. That's exciting. Does that show up as 7 or like 5-2? Like, how does that work? Whatever. Anyway, it's 7, y'all. So, yay me. All right. So, what we're going to talk today about is change. Just simply that, like change. I realized, kind of like after studying like my birth chart, like my life path, like I'm really into numerology and stuff like that, I actually adapt very well to change. And it's pretty cool that I'm made up like that. When I think about different things that I've been through in my life, especially when it comes to grief and loss or just, I don't know, I guess like drastic things that happen, I really do adjust well. And I'm very proud of myself for having that ability. And then also recognizing that everyone doesn't really have that. And that's okay, and it's good that I am like this because then I can help others in their adjustment and change. When things drastically shift and when it seems like the next day is totally different than the last day, I don't know. I feel like I'm just able to say, okay, like this is what we're dealing with. And how can I make the most or the best of it? And I think that after going through something real traumatic, like after the loss of my daughter River, that really awakened that gift in me to deal with change. Because it was like, now I see losses and I see major life transitions. I see our earthquakes as opportunities for growth. And they're just insane opportunities. Like, so now when things happen or when things shift, I'm just like, okay, so what cool thing can come out of this? And majority of the time, if not all, something really awesome really happens. And I think we don't want to own that part, when we're going through change. We don't want to own the good things that happen because things shifted. And so it's just very hard to admit that, yeah, I'm happy that happened, or I needed that. And sometimes when you're in the midst of those things, I think we think things should feel good all the time. Just because things don't feel good all the time doesn't mean that it isn't good for you. Things that you need and things that are happening and the changes that are happening, it's like it's not going to always be pleasant, like a pleasant change, right? So let's take an example. You go to like your favorite restaurant. I'm a tourist. I'm all about food. So I'm probably going to use food analogies majority of the time. All right. So you go to a restaurant, right? And then they're like, hey, because you always order the same thing, we decided to add another thing to the menu that was similar to this. So more than likely, you're going to like that as well. And then you'd probably be like, man, that was a good change. Like, this is great. This is the pasta I get. And then they made an appetizer that goes with that, or they made a complimentary beverage that goes with that or something. You'd be like, okay, yeah, that's a good change. Most of the time, though, you go to a restaurant and I have a tendency, especially if I'm going to something a lot or multiple times, I find myself, wanting to order the same thing I got before because I know it's good, and that's probably why I'm there, because I want to get the thing that I always get.
And next thing I know, they took it off the menu. Y'all, it's like I feel like they should have texted me. Like they know why I went there. And then they want to take it off the menu? Say what? How disrespectful. It's the worst change ever, you know? But then, since I'm all like positive and shit, right? Like I'm all like, we live in abundance. We blah, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, maybe this is an opportunity for me to try something else. What's nuts is, now I can actually really admit this. Most of the time when they have like taken it off the menu and I've tried something else, I've actually really liked that as well. So, I mean, I guess it's all right that they would take that off the menu. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that sometimes change is what we need, right? Like change is just an opportunity to think differently or expand your mind. It's just an opportunity. And my mom actually would say something her dad would tell her. So my grandfather, and I didn't get the pleasure to meet him, and apparently this is like a pretty famous quote. I don't know who said this, but I've heard this a couple times, but saying that there's no such thing as good luck. Luck is when opportunity and preparedness collide. Maybe that's what change is. Maybe change is just some good luck. Maybe we need to expand our minds on what good is or what luck is, because they really are opportunities. And more than likely, that change wouldn't have happened if you couldn't handle it. It's kind of interesting. I feel like I got to let myself marinate on that. Opportunity and preparedness collide. Well, if that's the case, then I'm hella lucky. And I bet you are too. I think that we just think we can just have on our mind that change is just so bad, or we only want change a certain way. And y'all, like what I'm learning and living and loving in this manifestation space is you can't get wrapped up in the how. And that's the thing with change, right? Because change is like telling us how. And we're just like, no, I didn't want it to happen like this. I didn't want to do this. Or, yeah, I've lately been telling myself every morning, it's just the stuff that I worry about, the things that I could be concerned about is just, how do I let go of the how? Look, how do I let go of the how? Release the how. Just say what you need, what you want, and just be present in that. So I'm going to learn the things I want to learn about. I'm going to embrace these new things that are happening in my life. I'm going to be present, because being present helps me realize like what I'm missing or what I don't have or what I'd like to have or what I do want to experience. So it's like being present is how you get prepared. And then that change creates the opportunity so you get some luck. So change is hard, change is difficult, but I'm here for it. I really am. Because it's just forever constant. I really do believe like things can change in a matter of minutes, seconds. One phone call, one email, one text, one quiet moment talking to each other. Like change is such a beautiful thing. So yeah, I'm gonna appreciate change more, because it lets me know that, man, I really am growing. I really am prepared. I really have all these opportunities all the time. And that the universe definitely has my back. And the universe has your back. So We have opportunities all the time. And it's okay if we miss them. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay if we weren't present that day. It's okay if something slipped through a little bit, but there's always opportunity. Like, it's always coming back. Like, it's fine. It may not be in the way that you think or how you want, but it's coming, and it's coming for what you're prepared for. Shout out to change. I hope that this week for you is full of opportunity of light, full of opportunity for you to just see how wonderful you are and see how beautifully taken care of you are. Because you are. You are. All right? So, we're going to do a little book divination. All right? This is one of my favorite authors, Brianna Wiest. This is her book, Ceremony. She has a lot of books. She is like, whew. This is a really talented writer, y'all. So she does a lot of things where it's just a bunch of beautiful thoughts, a bunch of beautiful musings. So this is one of her books. So I'm just gonna see what we need. Just kind of like do it like this and then just kind of like open the page. Okay, I'm gonna read 2 pages, all right? And this is like, each page is like a little short snippet of thought. So these are 2 different things, all right? So we pulled like a card, but we opened up to page 118 and 119 in Ceremony. Okay, 118. You do not see nature as perfect because it has clean lines, because it obeys everyone's desires, because it remains placid at all times. You see nature as perfect because of its wildness, its jagged edges, its unwillingness to conform to something other than what it is. You see nature as perfect because you see its power and you respect it. It simply does what it was meant to do and does not yearn for anything more. Y'all, if that ain't always stay wild, I don't know what is. Come on now. All right, 119. You are an infinite being existing within a galaxy of infinite potential. This is not all there is. Y'all, like, we can handle change. We can grow. We can be wild and just be the infinite beings that we are. All right? So I love y'all so much. Definitely leave a comment, for any questions or any certain topics that you'd all like to talk about or discuss. I'd love that. All right. So since we won't make it out alive, let's have a divine time. And remember to always stay wild. All right. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.